Hello, everybody. So this platform is dedicated exclusively to the health. Now, of course, is a body health, is a mental health, but also is a social health because you see, when people develop health issues, now often those health issues they are transferred to the society where the people, you know, are part. Okay. Now, first, let's see what is the disease. Now, the disease is and what the disease made up by. Okay. So, disease is a dysfunction of one organ, like gastritis is a disease, is dysfunction of the stomach. Now, heart issue, like, is a disease because is a disturbance of the heart, right? Rhinitis, the problem with the nose, with allergies, okay? So is a problem, is a disturbance of the function of the nose through which we breathe in. Colitis is a problem with the colon, inflammation of the colon. So that is a dysfunction of the colon, which you know a lot of people suffer from. Now, so we just kind of, in very few words, we just talked about what is the disease. Dysfunction of any organ is a disease. Now, this disease, it has here, when we look at the disease, we found three different parts. Now, just right there next to the disease produce symptoms. So the symptoms are a characteristic for specific for any type of disease. The colon is just give a symptom, it says diarrhea or constipation. No? Now, heart problems give it's a symptom, sometimes pain, sometimes discomfort of pushing the blood. Okay, the stomach, no, has a symptoms when it's gastritis or ulcer. So the first symptom is a pain. Now the next one is an inflammation. Okay, so that's you see, when you have rhinitis, when you have allergies, which is due to the nose disorder, breathing disorder, right? So first is irritation of the nose, inflammation of the nose. So there are of sneezing, running nose, having problems to really breathe, and so on and so forth. You see, so those are the symptoms are always comes when there is a dysfunction, when there is a disease. Now, I would just call, everybody gets so unhappy, so frightened, and so upset with the symptoms. But you see, the symptoms actually is a very interesting thing. Symptoms just let us know there is a problem there somewhere. Symptoms, it's a result of a problem somewhere. But if you have a problem and we don't feel the symptoms, we don't know that we have the problem. So you see, the symptoms sometimes is kind of friend of us. I know we hate it and we don't like because it's uncomfortable, it's discomfort. But the fact that it exists, it's a good idea because they let us know there is a problem there. See, if we have a really stomach gastritis or ulcer, stomach problem, right? So we don't have any symptoms. Sometimes we don't know that the problem exists. Well, you guys say, yeah, but if you don't have problem, you have symptoms. No, there is sometimes that you have problem and you don't feel the symptom. There is a lot of people which has a very minor and very little and very late symptoms, and suddenly they discover that they have a cancer. You see, so the symptoms right away, when we feel it, right, when we acknowledge, right away you have to check to see where the symptoms comes, why the symptoms appear, and what is wrong with organs, what is wrong with some organ, they give us the symptom. So in other words, the symptoms let us know there is a problem. Yeah. Okay. Now, but there is a third part of a disease. There is one more hidden part of any disease, which actually is not known. It's very complicated to know. That is the cause. Normally the cause is hidden. Nobody look for the cause. Sometimes just some doctor just acknowledge it's caused by this. Yes, that could be an immediate cause, but in fact, the real cause is deeper. See, we have a stomach pain because you drink coffee. So the stomach pain is due to the coffee. No, but yes, that is the immediate things. The stomach is already sick, because if anybody drink coffee and he has no stomach pain, but you have a stomach pain because, because the stomach is already inflamed. If it was not a stomach issue, so then you can drink coffee and you don't have pain. You see what happened? Now you have a sneezing problem, rhinitis, runny nose. Now the symptoms come in the spring and in the fall. Yeah, but if it's not spring or fall, if it's not dog hair, cat hair, if it's not pollen and stuff, so then you don't feel it. But there is a problem there. You see what happened? So now we just go for the third ingredient, with a third part or third item to this particular things, which is a problem, is the cause. Cause is hidden and we don't know. Sometimes you hear unknown cause. Is a problem unknown cause? Like immunity system just attacked the thyroid, giving problems, Hashimoto. What is the cause? Unknown cause. Because the immune system attacked the thyroid. Why? You understand? So in general, most of the problems, there is not known cause, because medical science, conventional, it just focus, which is easier, which is more handy, and is more simple, and has developed all the medical technique just to make a blood work, to see what is the problem, just to address some kind of treatment towards the symptoms, and trying to balance the organ's function, the organ physiological function. But the problem is keep going, stay there. See, like you have high blood pressure pills. You take pills to bring down the blood pressure. But if you don't take them, the blood pressure goes up right away. So then mean the blood pressure is a problem. So the drugs are just try to control the symptoms, the blood pressure, right? So if you don't take, the blood pressure goes up. So then mean there is a problem somewhere, that blood doesn't go through and the heart has to push. So that is the cause. See, that is the real cause. Conventionally is because the kidney, the blood doesn't go through the kidney, but there is many others causes. You see, so therefore, for more than 35 years, 40 years, I was very passionate about just addicted, actually, just looking for that answer of why. Why is this disease? Why is this disease? Why? So little by little, I was able to connect some what I found abnormality that helped me to localize the cause. Of course, took so many tens of years to understand to that things, and I will talk about that within the next video, within the next chapter, which next chapter would be named relation between cause and effect, cause-effect relationship. That I'm going to talk in the next video. So just studying and researching and going deeper, going all left and right, up and down. So I was able to localize various causes, and I was able to create this concept I call medical concept, cause-effect relationship, or relation between cause and effect. I just was very passionate about this because you see, if you don't find the cause, you can easily treat the symptom. But once you remove the treatment which addresses to the symptom, the problem is right there. So in other words, why the problem is right there? Because the cause is right there. You know, so so that's why I really insist on finding the cause of disease. And I thought that once I did, I thought it's very good to share with everybody who is interested. Again, I don't look in this platform for any type of benefit. Not at all, business-wise, to have patients. No. To attract patients. No, because as I said, I am semi-retired and I'm seeing just my old patients. But I really am very, very happy that I'm able to share with anybody who is interested some of my findings, you see, during this time, because they are very helpful. On this platform, I get to talk a lot about the cause of this, cause of that, cause of various disease, explaining and so and so and so and so. So let's stop here. So with the next video, I get to go a little bit more details about this concept. Okay, so take care, you guys, and I'll see you next time.